you have to weigh every dollar that you have relative to what the growth expectations is. Now, the easier point would be for Tim Cook and his team to buy something. Now, remember, in the history of Apple, you have to understand the DNA of the company is very important. People talk about augmented reality, people talk about cars and so forth. I believe, the current platform that they have has a lot of innovation. And why do I believe that? Look, when you look at a smartphone, the innovation has been democratized on the App Store. What Apple needs is a good processor, good screen, good battery life, and memory. That hardware platform needs to be refreshed every year and every so often. So as far as investors or some of the critiques talk about that this company has to come up with something amazing in the smartphone space, there's not a lot you could do. I think the platform has to be solid and the innovation should take place in the software space. That's what I believe this company is. Now, as far as this company getting into the automotive space or some of these things, I mean, this is
you and I know that this is a fiercely competitive environment for smartphone devices and iPhones. If you look at China, for instance, where we are in our region, you're up against some of the local champions. It's fiercely competitive. And that's causing a lot of margin pressure, isn't it? They need a new revenue driver, and that has to come from AI or AR.
Well, Sri, that's a great point you bring back. I've looked at the handset industry as an engineer and then a person on Wall Street for about close to 20 years. I have never seen in the history of the mobile industry where, you have this hardware platform, but what really connects us and touches us is the ecosystem. All the competitors that you're talking about have form factors in the hardware device, but there's no stickiness to the platform. So coming back to the thing, and you talked about China and competition, look what happened there. The market imploded. You had dozens and dozens of players. It's come down to some of the bigger brand guys because scale was important. Apple, in the history, in their China foray, did not cut pricing, whereas the Chinese strategy was to cut pricing. And if you remember, Sri, about 2 years ago, or about a year and a half ago, people said you have to cut pricing. So where I'm going with this is that at the end of the day, Apple's position will be sustainable in the mid-single-digit growers on the top line.